Unfortunately, we can't improve, and that is us out and qualified P15. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, engine revved, and away we go. Whoa, what's that? Pierre Gasly's had a big engine failure in, surprise, surprise, a Renault. We are going to come home P6. Need to get over the line now. Oh no, we've hit the inside. Oh, we've lost our front wing. Oh, P11. What's going to happen? Oh my gosh! Sergio Perez, what are you doing? That is a big one. That is huge. So yeah, there we are. P8 for us. Oh, Latifi's gone. As Mazzuchelli, I think, has gone into him as well. That was not a good move by Latifi there. That means we are coming home in P7. And that is Lance Stroll. There's a safety car. Kevin Magnussen's gone through. Latifi's gone through. We've got a 5-second penalty. What on earth has happened? We look like we're going to get P3, and now it looks like we're going to have P5. We've gone way too deep. The tyres have gone off. We have hit the wall. We have lost our front wing, as has Valtteri Bottas. It's just all gone wrong on the last lap. We are luckily going to come home in P6. Down to 7. Oh, we've lost the rear. Oh. And that is the front wing gone and a pirouette, and that is our qualifying over. And there is a yellow flag. Oh, so nearly went into the back of Kvyat. Is it Kvyat that's gone out? But we came fourth. What a result. Unbelievable. And we did come pole. Unbelievable result for us. We are going to come and get our first win of the season. And there we are with our trophy. Hey, hello everyone, how are we all doing? Welcome to the finale of the My Team series on F1 2020. Yes, F1 2021 comes out tomorrow if you've got the deluxe edition, and on Friday if you've got the standard edition. So yeah, we've got to do 4 races in one video, and it is a little bit long, so I do apologise for that as well, but I've tried to cram it as short as possible, so do bear with me. Also, if you want to see F1 2021 content, you're in the right place, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. And also, whilst I've got your attention, I have set up a second channel to support this channel, and it's called I'm Jumbo 2. Now, the idea of this channel is that basically it will support my main channel, this one, and it will do that with news and updates of any of the games that come out. We'll do some livery designs on there, possibly. We'll also do some gameplay footage that isn't on the main channel, so if you want to see something like, I don't know, Sebastian Vettel in his new Aston Martin going around Monaco on the new F1 2021 game, I could just post that on there. And yeah, it's just going to be a good place. Obviously there will be some shorts and some clips from the main channel, but it's pretty much the idea is to support this channel without ruining this channel's algorithm and stuff like that. So it is primarily a support channel. So if you can support that by going to subscribe to it, that'll be helping us out massively. Alright, so with all of that out of the way, let's dive straight back into this video. As I say, it's going to be very fast paced, so bear with us. Alright, so upgrades. We have done the cable assembly, which is a weight reduction upgrade on the chassis. We have also done a power unit upgrade for the ERS, which should just give us more ERS regeneration, I believe. And then we also did a chassis factory upgrade with the quality control, which just means that more parts have less chance of failing, which is good. And looking at the performance index before we head to the Russian GP, not much changed, as it's quite a quick turnaround from the Singapore Grand Prix. And straight away we dive into qualifying, and we are coming towards the end of qualifying, and we're on lap 2 here, and we've set 2 purple sectors at the beginning of the lap, and we put it on pole currently. And that was actually where it finished. So we're on pole for the 2nd race in a row. And Lewis Hamilton is 3 tenths behind us, and Valtteri Bottas is 3rd, a little bit further behind Lewis. The other thing to note is that our teammate qualified 8th. And quickly looking at the pit strategy of this race, we are going to do a 1-stop, so starting on the softs obviously, and then move into the mediums on lap 10. And straight into the race. See, I told you it was fast paced, and we get a great start on those those soft tyres. As it is a very long rundown to turn 1, so we are going to come under a bit of an attack from Lewis. As you can see, he's on the left-hand side. Is that the right-hand side? That's our right-hand side, but the left-hand side of the screen, a little bit confusing. Managed to do okay. He's gone quite wide as he's going to go around the outside. He's actually gone up to first by doing that, so just carrying more speed through the corner as we're coming under attack from Valtteri Bottas as well. We had lost another place by Lewis, so we're down to P3, so we've lost 2 places in the first sector of this Russian GP, and both of the Mercedes, who are still the best car on the grid, as we're coming with a bit of attack from Max there. for P4, but we seem to be doing all right. So currently we seem okay in P3, and yeah, that's kind of where we stayed for the first couple of laps. Oh, as we nearly go flying into the back of Bottas there. He did lock up as he nearly went to the back of Hamilton, but we just managed to kind of stick with them. So yeah, so it's just us four at the front of the grid. As we cut to one of the Alfa Romeos going out, we've obviously got a lot of smoke coming out the back of the engine, and I think that is Nick de Vries. As we immediately go to our pit stops, and that is Hamilton in front of us and Max behind us, and we come in, put our mediums on, and we get released. And where are they? Oh, we're actually inside Lewis Hamilton. So that is probably the worst pit release I've ever seen. And we didn't get a penalty for it, but in real life, that would have been absolute disaster. And we can look at it from Lewis's perspective this time. And oh, that is terrible. That is so bad. He's turned into Casper the Ghost to basically avoid that. And that's how we basically got ahead of Lewis Hamilton, by cheating, basically. Not that I wanted to cheat, but that's kind of how it worked, as we go up the inside of George Russell, which is currently for position, as there is a lot of cars out of position, just because they haven't stopped yet. And looking at this, we are currently P2, as Grosjean ahead of us hasn't stopped, but more importantly, Valtteri Bottas also got ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So Hamilton has lost out 2 places because of that pit stop, which is pretty unfortunate, but it shows you how tight the grid is now at the front, which is pretty cool, as Grosjean pits and we retake the lead of the Russian Grand Prix. And yeah, the Mercedes boys, they did not leave me alone. Look at them, they're like a pack of wolves hunting me down. And yeah, Bottas got a little bit too close and actually lost his front end plate of the front wing. So yeah, just came in a bit too hot on the braking, and yeah, lost his front end plate and actually had to come in for a brand new front wing and soft tyres. So he's going to be very quick, but obviously he's lost a lot of time and he's pretty much out of contention for this race victory now. So yeah, only one Mercedes I have to deal with now, but it's currently a 6-time world champion in this one. Obviously he's 7-time in real life, and yeah, he's all over the back of me. He just does not give up. I kind of feel sorry for Max in real life, because if this is what it's going to be like in real life, it's just torture. He's just constantly there breathing down your neck, and yeah, it's just relentless. And as you can see here, look how close he gets. Nearly touches us there, and then he touches us here. So he obviously thinks we're Alex Albon or something, just trying to send one up the inside and just take us out. But not only does he do it once, he also does it again. Look, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's just obviously really impatient, just trying to get past, and just puts the old Alex Albon mode on and just tries taking us out. Yeah, but it didn't work, and basically what happens is that we're so much faster on the straight. So as you can see, we didn't even get a very good exit coming up that last corner, going to the next lap on lap 23 now, to come towards the end of the race. And look, we're just so much faster on the straights that even though Lewis has DRS, he just doesn't get close enough to us. And although he's quicker in the corners, we managed to just kind of stay ahead, although he does try looking up the inside this time, but we just slammed the door closed again. And yeah, it seems to be going all right until the end of lap 25, which we join now. And we're just about to come on the penultimate lap, and he's very close this time, within 0.2 of a second, or just over 0.2 of a second there, come down towards the end of the main straight, and he's actually gone up the inside. We tried to slam the door shut, which we half do, and it's basically going to be a repeat of lap 1. He's going to go around the outside, and unfortunately we just can't defend that. We can't really push him off the road. That's a very nasty way of racing. And yeah, he's got ahead of us, and there's not much we could do as our tyres were going off, as you're just about to see now. We're going to drift wide, and yeah, last lap we couldn't do much, and Lewis is going to nick the race win, probably deserved it, and we're going to come home in P2. So, you know, it was a good job, but it could have been a little bit more, unfortunately. And there is Lewis claiming another trophy to his collection. He's got so many, such a great driver in real life, and yeah, there we are, P2, though could have easily been P1. And that is just confirmation of the race result there. So Lewis, us, Max, Ricciardo, Gasly, Kvyat in 6th, picking up some decent points, which is a first. And the only other one is Valtteri Bottas down in 10th. He did get the fastest lap, so he only ended up getting 2 points, which is going to change the championship quite a bit, I think. And yeah, so there you can see it. So Lewis is now 25 points ahead of Valtteri Bottas, which is quite a lot. 30 ahead of Ricciardo, and is that 33 ahead of us? So yeah, the title fight is pretty much done and dusted at this point, with Lewis basically running away with it. And just looking at the constructors, obviously Mercedes are top. Red Bull are 49 points behind them, and then we move up to 3rd, but are still a long way back from Red Bull, let alone Mercedes. Alright, so 1 down, 3 to go. Looking at the upgrades going into the next race, we actually do a major DRS upgrade, which should just help us be more slippery on the straights with the DRS open, which is useful. We also do an ERS upgrade with the bearings for the power unit. And we also do a further power unit upgrade with fuel efficiency, which just means that we shouldn't use as much fuel, which is great news for us. We also do another quality control upgrade. This time it's for the aerodynamic factory. And yeah, all good at the moment. And funnily enough, Carl comes and tells us, just before the USA Grand Prix I think this is, that there is going to be a regulation change, which could have quite a big implication for development for the rest of the cars going into the next season, as we're not going to develop our car because we know this is the final race, but they don't know that. And as you can see there, we currently move up to second best car on the grid, literally right behind Mercedes. And Red Bull isn't too far back as well. So there's going to be 3 types of car, or 6 drivers basically, fighting out for wins now. So this championship is still massively on. And straight into qualifying on our second lap there, we actually only managed to put it P2. And that was where we finished. So Bottas managed to put it on pole, and we got it second. Max was third. Pierre Gasly in the Renault does an unbelievable job on this game. He's so good in fourth. Lewis is fifth, which is quite big, and then Kvyat is sixth. So yeah, that's quite an interesting qualifying result. Hopefully we can do something in the race and possibly get a race win, as that would be a result for us. And looking at the pit strategy for this race, it's going to be a 2-stopper. So we're going to start the softs. We're going to pit on lap 8, put another set of softs on. Then going to pit on lap 17 to put on the mediums, which we should see through to the end of the race. And away we go. I think my voice is already starting to go, which is a great sign. But yeah, not a bad start. Immediately we go up into P1 as we go into turn 1 now. Obviously cut it quite tight as Bottas is around the outside there. You can't really see him, but he's just coming to the screen now. And we immediately lose that position, so we're back down to P2, as I think Verstappen is also looking at the back of us. But this is a fantastic shot. I love this. Look how many cars there is, like a snake. So cool. Absolutely love that. That's why I put that in there. Still on lap 1, we've got Max going up the inside of us again. We're just going to try and go around the outside and just put the power down. And yeah, that seemed to work. As I said, our car is pretty slidey and very powerful. So yeah, on the straights, we seem to be doing quite a good job. And at the end of lap 1, we're still in P2. So we can't complain, as we're starting to pull away from Verstappen behind a little bit. And yeah, a few laps later, we actually start to gain on Bottas. And look how close we get to the back of his car. Going to go flying in. Oh, that is pretty close without doing any damage. So, yeah, you know, pretty good driving by me, hey? And, yeah, and actually, we do catch up to the Bottas pretty quick. And we actually sent one up the inside instead of me saying stupid stuff like, oh, pretty good. Should be concentrating on this. And, yeah, we actually managed to take the lead of the, I was going to say Australian. It's not Australian, the American Grand Prix. And then it was time for the first round of pit stops. And we came in to take off these old softs and put the new softs on. And yeah, there was actually a yellow flag at the same time as we came out, and he was actually one of the Red Bulls, and that is Daniel Ricciardo. So yeah, that's going to have quite a lot of implications for the championship, as he was still roughly up there. I think, yeah, he was in third. So him going out is a big mistake, unfortunately for. It's not a mistake; it's just unfortunate for him. As we come out to the pits, we're going to have to do some overtaking like normal, get past some of the back markers that just haven't stopped. One of them being Alex Albon. In the Ferrari, as that is just awful, that Ferrari, as I've said so many times in this series. As we managed to get past George Russell as well, and we send one up the inside of Antoine Hubert. 3 moves in 2 corners, that is how you do it. And yeah, what are we up to now, like P9, something like that, as we go chasing Leclerc. And immediately we're trying to go around the outside, a bit of contact, wheel to wheel, a little bit more contact, so this is definitely not a clean pass. But we managed to get it done with our fresher tyres. So, yeah, not the cleanest pass. As we go around the outside of, is that Grosjean? Yep. Is that going to work? Yes, that is. Sorry if that yep was really loud. Can't really control my voice too much at the moment. So, yeah, up to P4. Going to go up the inside of Sainz there as well. Unbelievable there. That was really late on the brakes. And then we're going to have one of the coolest shots, I think, being on the rear wing as we get the DRS open. That's what that mechanic was there, just opening the DRS. And we go sailing past Lance Stroll into P2. So already got past a lot of the back markers and already pretty much nearly in the lead again. And speaking of getting into the lead, we're actually closing down Lando Norris, our former rival. It didn't actually say we beat Lando, but we did because we had so many more points than him. But yeah, I don't really know what happened there. But anyway, we're back in the lead of this the USA Grand Prix. Now, we're on board Antoine Hubert for the weirdest pit stop you've ever seen. Watch this. He just gets spawned or glitches to the track. He actually does pick up a penalty for that, for crossing the white line, which technically he does. But yeah, look at this again. They change the tyres and then poof, he's gone. Really weird. I don't know what's going on in this game. There's definitely a lot of glitches happening in this game in the last couple of weeks. So I'm not sure if they've done it on purpose just to get you to buy the new one or something. But yeah, very strange glitches happening currently at the moment in this game. And yeah, we're coming in this time for our second stop. So our last stop of this, Australian Grand Prix again. Putting on the mediums at the USA Grand Prix. Why can't I say American? I always say Australian. Don't know why. There's something wrong with my brain, probably. As we are coming over the line on lap 20 now, and we've just set the fastest lap of the race, which is important. We need to get all the points we can. As we see, I believe that is Sergio Perez, number 11 of the pink Mercedes, out of this race as well, exactly where Daniel Ricciardo was. And yeah, we're coming around on the last lap now. So we basically saw this last stint of the tyres of this race out without really any trouble at all. And we are going to come home in P1 of the American, see I got it right, American Grand Prix. And there you go, there is the trophy for us, and we are delighted with that. And there we are, spraying the champagne. And I believe that's actually Bottas on there with us, and Pierre Gasly. Yes, it is. So it's us, Bottas, Gasly, then Hamilton. So that's going to be a big swing in the championship as well. Then Lando, Carlos, Stroll, Verstappen, Hubert, and then our teammate only managed to get 10th. And also, just look at this, this was quite funny. So Antoine Hubert, who came 9th, didn't actually stop, apparently, because he didn't actually leave the pits. He just got teleported to the track. So yeah, quite a weird thing. You never see that, but now you have. And yeah, looking at the driver standings, Lewis is top by 19 points now from Valtteri Bottas and only 20 from us. Daniel Ricciardo with his DNF is now 42 points behind and is pretty much out. I mean, technically he's not, but yeah, he kind of needs a miracle to stay in this title fight. And looking at the constructors, the Mercedes team have pretty much wrapped it up. They'll need to get a few more points and then they'll be constructors, and we are still currently 3rd. Alright, so the regulation change I was talking about is actually this. So it's on the durability and the chassis side of stuff. Obviously we're not going to do it because we're not going to do a 3rd season, but they don't know that. So we immediately ignore the regulation change and decide to put on weight reduction lightweight rims. Which will be good. And also we do another fuel efficiency part for the power unit as well as another upgrade. And then looking to see what that did for performance wise, it didn't actually change much as there isn't too much time between the American and the Mexico Grand Prix. I'll get it right at some point. I did briefly, but yeah, not much has changed. As we go into qualifying at Mexico, and it's wet. So you want to get out as early as possible, and we currently done 2 purple sectors, and we crossed the line and put it on pole in the wet, which is great news for us, but it quickly dried out, like really quick. So it went dry, and we're currently 20th, so we need to put in a good lap. We are currently going the fastest. We crossed the line, fantastic. And we got pole. I was waiting for that. I couldn't remember where we came. We got pole, which is great news. So we're just ahead of championship leader Lewis Hamilton, couldn't say that, and Daniel Ricciardo of the Red Bull team. Looking at the pit strategy, another 2-stopper, so it's soft, medium this time, and hopefully that should result in another win for us. Fingers crossed. And away we go, straight into the action again. A lot of smoke as the wheels get, the tyres just get grip and go away. It's quite not that realistic, I don't think. As we look at Lewis Hamilton, now this is one of the weirdest things I've seen, another glitch. He looks like he's got eyebrows on his car, but it's not. It's actually his race suit gloves. I'm not sure why they're that high, but hey, another glitch. Who knows what's going on? Yeah, as we go into turn 1, back into the action, Lewis is going up the inside of us there, but then we have the inside of this part, and we managed to just kind of edge him out a little bit. So we're currently still in the lead, although we are going to come under a bit of attack now going into turn 4, I believe. Turn 3, turn 4, I can't remember. But yeah, we managed to hold him off, and coming up towards the stadium part of the first lap, not the last lap, And he's trying to go around the outside, but we're just going to see that off as we complete a challenge, which is fantastic news. As we just come around the last corner now, we should hopefully remain in first place at the end of lap 1. As we do the fastest lap, obviously that counts for nothing, but we are going to come under attack from Lewis again, because this is a very long straight, and although there isn't DRS, he would have got slipstream off us. He's going to go up the inside again, I believe, and this time I think he has made that work, although he has yielded as we've gone around the outside, just carrying more speed through the corner, and we've managed to retake the lead again, which is great news for us. But then, all of a sudden, lap 3, DRS is active, and he is absolutely flying. Though he hasn't got DRS yet, funny enough. And yeah, he's going to try going around the outside this time, as we had the inside. I don't know why we changed it up. He's still there. We're giving him plenty of room, but he's still there. But all this battling, all this has done is basically brought Max Verstappen into it. And as you can see, there he is. So he's actually got past Lewis, I think. And now he's coming after us as we go into turn 4, I think I said it was. Yeah, run a little bit wide, but more importantly, Max and Lewis are proper fighting out behind. I think Lewis is just ahead, but obviously Max is going to have the inside here. We obviously can't see it too much, as Lewis is going to go faster around the outside, and I believe Lewis still retains that position, so it's us, then Lewis, then Max. And yeah, we can confirm that there on lap 8. So a couple of laps later, and yeah, we're starting to eke out a bit of a lead, as those two were constantly fighting, and we're about 3 seconds ahead of them, as there is a yellow flag. And unbelievably, that is Daniel Ricciardo retiring again with another engine failure. I thought the Renault engines were bad, but obviously those Honda engines, the reliability is terrible. As that ultimately results in us coming into a pit stop, as it was that kind of time of the race. And yeah, we're going to take off these softs and put on some new softs, and out we go. And yeah, I did see that we did get a yellow warning light for the engine, and I believe that is actually the control electronics, which shouldn't be too bad, as that is more just, it will wear the other parts of the air power unit just a little bit more. As we go up the inside of Grosjean there, as we have a kick-off oversteer for good measure, we need to go into the back of Hubert there. That was pretty good reflexes on these new tyres, as that could have been a front wing gone. Going to go around the outside, are we? I believe they're going into the pits, so it's not that great a move. But yeah, as I was saying, the control electronics, I think, affect the rest of the power unit. So actually, it doesn't actually affect our performance, rather, initially, which is good news. As yeah, as you can see, our performance is fine, as we're going to set the fastest lap of the race, which is a 1:15.1. So that is a very good time. And we are about, I think, 8 seconds ahead of Hamilton, as we are watching another Alfa Romeo retire, and I believe that one is George Russell, number 63. And back into the action, lap 20 now, and yeah, that warning light is going to be yellow, so we are obviously coming under a bit more strain on the engine, but I don't think it's actually affecting performance too much, as I said earlier. But we are about 11 seconds nearly ahead of Lewis Hamilton as we're coming in for our final pit stop. As we nearly hit that bollard there. Great driving there, Jumbo. And here we are coming into the pit box. Obviously taking off the softs this time and putting on the mediums, as you have to do one of each tyre. Well, no, you have to do one of 2 different tyre types. So a soft or a medium and hard, or a medium or a soft and a hard, whatever. I don't know why I'm telling you the rules. You guys know the rules. What am I doing? As we come out ahead of our teammate and behind Valtteri Bottas, as we cheese that corner a little bit. But yeah, not too much else was really going on until we decided we had to, well, we had the pace rather, to overtake the back markers. This is a first. We're going to lap cars. And rather importantly, this isn't back markers. This is the 2 cars behind us. This is Valtteri Bottas, no, not Valtteri Bottas, Lewis Hamilton rather, and Max Verstappen battling out yet again. Lewis is defending well at the moment, but Max is going to go up the inside. That's going to be tight. They're going to follow each other through side by side. And I think Max actually edged out Lewis there. Great driving by these two. 2 probably world champions, or one's going to be a future world champion, I would have thought, currently in real life. And yeah, Max is currently up to 2nd, as we are overtaking more back markers as we're so far ahead. And yeah, we actually get past Matsushita here, and cheekily, he decides to follow us through and get past his teammate that he was racing, as we go past Latifi as well. So yeah, very sneaky by Matsushita there, gaining a position as we go through the back markers. And one more back marker for good luck, as that is Antonio Giovinazzi, I believe. And that was all she wrote in this one. So yeah, look at the stadium. I absolutely love that. That is so cool. But yeah, coming through for the last time, the stadium goes wild as our tyres are going off as we've got a tyre warning and an engine warning as we cross the line in P1, another race win for us. And we are definitely in this championship battle now as we get another trophy to our name. And yes, so that is us from Max, from Lewis, from Sergio, from Valtteri, and then our teammate in sixth, picking up more points yet again. Gasly had a good weekend, Stroll, Norris and Sainz rounds up the top 10. Whew, so I'm starting to lose my voice now, I think, but we are only 9 points behind championship leader Lewis Hamilton going into the final race. So this is massive, as Valtteri Bottas is still in contention, but he really needs a miracle to happen so that me and Lewis won't score any points, which I don't think will happen. But speaking of Mercedes, they did actually win the Constructors at the end of this race, so that's all wrapped up and we are still third. Alright, so it all comes down to this, the fourth and final race. A few more upgrades go on the car, so a bit more fuel efficiency upgrade, which will help. Heat dispersing wheel rims, which should help with tyre wear, which means that we should be able to do longer stints on the tyres, which is good. And we ended up just spending some random money we had, as I thought this is towards the end of the season. I've just got money, I'm just going to splash it. And bought some durability upgrades, as well as for a first, some personnel upgrades as well. So we bought the simulator and the fitness centre. Whether that's going to help Danny now, I have no idea. And also, looking at the control electronics part of the power unit, had a big call to make. I decided not to put a new one in, as this race matters loads, so we need to win this race if we're in a shot with winning the title. And basically it's what I thought. It doesn't actually affect the performance initially, it's more that it increases the wear, rather, on all the other power unit components. So with those being relatively low on the rest of the power unit, it should be fine to do one race like this, hopefully. And just looking at how tight the title battle is. So basically we're 9 points behind Lewis. So for Lewis to win, he needs to come second or win the race, and he will win regardless of what we do. So for us to win, we need to win the race and hope that someone gets ahead of Lewis, which isn't the easiest thing. So basically we need Max or our teammate or Valtteri or even Ricciardo just to get ahead of Lewis, and we will win the title if we win the race. Also, if we get the fastest lap point, obviously we get one more extra point, so we would win by 2 if that occurs. But if Lewis gets it, that's where it gets a little bit interesting, because then it would be tied. And if it's tied, I think it comes down to race wins, and I think that's also currently tied at 3. So if we win, that would be the tiebreaker, and we would win by just more race wins in the season, which would be a mental way to win the title. Looking at the performance index, we are now the best car on the grid. So obviously I think people are starting to think about next year's regulations, even though we're not. And Red Bull did improve a little bit as well, but we are now the best car on the grid, and it's going to be very tight, this title fight now, as there's 3 types of car all battling for the race win again. And in qualifying, just come around the last couple of corners, gone a little bit wide there, obviously a bit of damage to our power unit, but it doesn't stop us from putting it on pole. And confirmation there, we're on pole. Lewis is second, nearly 4 tenths behind us, and then Kvyat, our teammate, surprisingly is third. So good job. Just looking at the race strategy, so it's another 2-stopper. This time we're going to do soft, medium, medium, and hopefully it'll be another race win like the other 2-stopper races. And away we go on the soft tyres. Got another great start there, as has Lewis, I think, as well. So for some reason, I don't know why, but the replay, another glitch you wouldn't believe. The replay is all sunny. Even though it's a night race, the replays are basically midday. I don't know why it's done that, but yeah, you'll have to deal with it. I'm really sorry about that, but it's just the way it is. Back to the action though. We're still currently ahead of Lewis, although he is all over the back of us going into the hairpin. We just managed to eke out a little bit, and going on the main straight, we should be okay. A little bit later, you can see we're kind of eking out that lead a little bit from Lewis, and then Max has actually got our teammate for P3 as well. So come on, Max, we need you to get ahead of Hamilton, really, and that will be absolutely sweet for us, because that means if it stays like this, with us getting the fastest lap currently, I know we were only in lap 3, but it means we would get the title. But currently, we're not, because Hamilton's second. And who is this? This is Esteban Ocon, I believe. He's had a bit of a problem, as there's yellows, and he's actually peeled off the side of the racetrack, I believe. So yeah, he's actually pulling off, and he's out of the finale of this My Team series. Unlucky Esteban. And here we are on board with Max in the broad daylight. of the night race of Abu Dhabi. He's actually going to go around the outside of Lewis. Look at the closing speed on that. That was so much faster. He's going to slam on the brakes, go up the... Well, he's just going to take the normal line. Lewis was nowhere even near the inside. I thought he would be. And that means Max is up to P2. And yes, that is confirmation there in the top left-hand corner. So Max is P2 and Lewis is P3. And that means currently we would win the title. Unbelievable. From the start of the episode, basically, we were a long shot to win the title. And now we're pretty much in pole position to win. As we see yet another car retiring. I think that is Lance Stroll, if I remember correctly, of the pink Mercedes, and that is basically leads us into our first pit stop of the race as we nearly do a DC and bottle it in the pit lane like Coulthard used to, and we put on the medium tyres and away we go. And you could see that was actually Verstappen and Hamilton behind us as we are coming out, and we're going to get Alex Albon again off the back markers, which was a pretty cool shot. I like that shot. Good job, Cody's, on that one. As we come up to the back of Antoine Hubert, send one up the inside, why not? Going into the hairpin, quite a risky move, as normally they close the door shut on that. But yeah, watch how quick we close in on Grosjean. So it just shows how OP, not a maxed out car, but a very quick car compared to the rest of the field is. Look how close, well, not how close it is, but how quickly we closed in. Go around the outside, we've got the inside for this part of the chicane, and that is job done. On the same sort of tyres, I know they were older, but it's a straight line speed, and our car was an absolute rocket ship. Coming up behind Lando now, he's in P1. Obviously, he hasn't stopped yet, so this is kind of all jumbled up. But we should be able to get him coming down onto the straight now, back into the dusk setting of the race, which is actually what it should be. Going to go around the outside, DRS open, ERS was on, or ERS. And yeah, coming into the chicane now, slamming on the brakes, and that is job done pretty simply, I would say. And yeah, back into the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
As things stand, we'll be leading the championship.
So just confirmation there after everyone stopped on lap 13. So about halfway, coming up to halfway through the race, Jeff has just confirmed for us we would be leading the championship. And yeah, just checking out how much engine wear we've got, you can see that 73% for the control electronics, but the rest of the engine seems alright, although the warning has gone red, which never looks good, but I think we're actually okay. And yeah, just looking at how far ahead we are, so we're currently about 8, nearly 9 seconds ahead of Verstappen, obviously still currently got the fastest lap, and Hamilton is in third with our teammate not too far behind, so, you know, it's not over yet, but if Kvyat could get past Hamilton, that would be a result for us, as we are coming in for our last ever stop on F1 2020, and putting on another set of medium tyres, and away we go. Not a great stop, I might add, 2.9 seconds, not rapid. But yeah, we're basically just going to come around here now as our teammates come into the pits and retake the lead of the, what is this one? Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's too late. What time is it? It's midnight and I'm recording and my brain is just not fully here, so sorry. And I have been talking for like 40 minutes currently. But yeah, as we're coming around to the last corner, we actually set the fastest lap of the race, just secure that extra point for the fastest lap. So we got 8 laps to go, or 9 laps to go, and here we are just cruising basically. We just need to bring the car home, don't force it too much, don't obviously damage the power unit, as it is a little bit on the edge. But yeah, all we need to do is just cruise home, which is what we do. So we're going to come around the last couple of corners now. On the last lap, obviously we run out of ERS in the bottom right hand corner there. The engine is very red, but who cares? Look at the fireworks go off. We have not only won the race, but I think the title.
Fantastic drive, and it means you're driver's world champion. What a result. Enjoy
and
it.
There you have it. Jeff confirms for us as we get the pictures as well of us doing donuts. We are world champion. Get in there. Was not expecting that coming into this last set of races. I thought Lewis was going to run away with it, to be honest. But yeah, unbelievably, we have won the driver's title. And there we are celebrating in the garage with the rest of the team. And it's pretty cool, actually, to see a female driver win the title. But that is confirmation of the driver standings. So yeah, we are only 2 points ahead of Lewis. So if he got the fastest lap, that probably would have swung it back the other way, which was a little bit worrying in the end. But yeah, that is confirmation of the constructors as well. So Mercedes won and we came third in the end. Alright, so we're not quite done yet. We've still got a few things to do. Obviously, we tried to re-sign Danny, but also we had no money, so I think we ended up with a reserve driver. And then it's just confirmation of how much cash we've got going into Season 3, even though we're not doing Season 3. 44 million, which is nice. And yeah, season complete. We actually got Drivers' Championship, and apparently our reserve driver came 29th in the championship, even though he didn't enter one race. Don't know how that works. We then just decided to advance through to Season 3, just slapping on a random livery. I quite like this one. It was a bit random. Looks like one of the old Lotus F1 cars, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so performance chart at the end of Season 3, or going into the beginning of Season 3 rather, we dropped down from 1st to 8th, which is pretty dramatic. Everyone else kind of stayed the same, bar McLaren, I think, and Mercedes actually gained a bit of performance. So, yeah, pretty surprised in that. I thought there'd be more to it than that. And looking at the driver transfers, I was expecting a lot of driver transfers, just because sometimes there are. And not much happened at all. So we had Grosjean retire, which we knew, and then we couldn't afford Danny Kvyat. And basically, the game thought, well, we'll just solve two birds with one stone. And yeah, he ends up back at AlphaTauri, and that was literally the only move. Everyone else stayed the same, which yeah, was pretty disappointing. I was expecting loads of fireworks going off, different driver moves, and yeah, literally nothing happened. And just looking at our final stats, so 1 Drivers' Championship, 4 poles, 4 race wins, 5 podiums, and 812 laps completed, which is a lot more than I thought. And the only thing left to do was just shut down the factories, as that is going to bring a nice closing to this F1 2020 My Team, I thought. I really hope you've enjoyed this series. I've really enjoyed doing it. I didn't really intend to do it. You guys kind of asked me to redo another series, and yeah, I did it, and I don't regret it at all. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see more F1 2021 content when it comes out tomorrow. Woohoo! And yeah, if you could, go and support the other channel. I'm Jumbo 2. That would be massive if you could do that. Yeah, I'd really appreciate that. So subscribe to that channel as well if you could. Alrighty then, I've been Jumbo, and this has been F1 2020 My Team, and I will see you very soon for F1 2021.